Good day, this is Nation Voice Tower, the hub that keeps you updated on everything political in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. My name is Angelo, your anchor. Yes, before I proceed, I would love to make a bit of correction from my last update about the former Minister of Aviation, which is Hadi Sirika. And now Hadi Sirika had gone into one or two fraudulent activities in his ministry, and he actually borrowed, or he actually leased, let me use the word, he actually leased an aircraft from Ethiopian Airlines, not an airline, you get. So I want to make the difference clear. I could see some comments in the comment section. So he actually leased an aircraft from the Ethiopian Airlines. You understand? Yeah. So second thing is about Festus Keyamo. He actually suspended the Nigerian air project that was initiated by President Muhammadu Buhari. Not that he suspended the aviation sector. Please, let the corrections be taken, all right? So that we will be clear about what we do here. Please, let the corrections be taken. Now, I went on to check one or two exposés because I was doing a lot of digging about former President Muhammadu Buhari's government, and I consulted sources, all right? So these sources came up with things that were very, very tangible. So I decided to delve into the particular information, and I noticed that there were things that would shock even the smallest or the youngest baby in Nigeria, because I believe from all we're hearing, Nigeria is supposed to be at a level where I think the best in Africa, but because of the kind of governance and the kind of people we have, Nigeria has faced lots of let's say backwardness and all that. Now I'm here. I'm trying to go forth and expose President Muhammadu Buhari's former Minister of Communication and how he looted his ministry of millions of naira. Now, the way the former Minister of Communication, Isa Pantami, looted his ministry in a very, very, very outrageous manner, he forged an inventory list and claimed to have purchased items for the ministry in that same list. In order to launder millions of naira, he inflated the prices of items in the inventory. And when you compare the items in the inventory and the amount of money attributed to these items, you cannot actually make a reconciliation. There seems to be a very, very great degree of discrepancy between the two variables, all right? Now, as you can see on your screen, this is a display of just one sheet. This is page 46, or this is page 47 out of 48 pages. That is 47 all over 48. Yes, this particular sheet was what I could take out from the source I had, because I couldn't lay my hands on all the documents, but this is legit. This particular document shows the inventory and the items that Isa Pantami, the former Minister of Communication, used to launder millions of naira through his ministry. Now, he alleged, or he claims to have bought an iPad tablet for 8.3 million. The quantity is there, so that it wouldn't be as if he bought the iPad for the whole staff in the ministry. Do you understand where I'm going to now? The quantity is there. Now, he claimed to have bought A4 size envelopes worth 763,000 naira. Oh, all right. Next, he claimed to have printed letterhead A4 papers for 1.5 million naira. Seriously, wow. I think I would quit my job and start going into printing of A4 papers so I could be a millionaire like Isa Pantami. Yes, now he claimed to have provided electrical sockets, switches, and bulb replacements in the ministry for almost 2.7 million naira. Yes, that means he spent almost a fortune in just changing of switches and sockets. He claimed to have purchased 50 rechargeable fans and 50 lanterns for 4.3 million. So when you compare these two items, all right, the amount and the item under the inventory, there are discrepancies, right? And our sources were so hell bent on the fact that these were not the way it was supposed to be, or these items were not even up to those numbers. Neither did they cost up to those outrageous amounts. Don't forget, some of these sources are resident or domiciled in the ministry. Still on Isa Pantami, the former Minister of Communication. Well, let me just say something. I will tell you the reason why his name didn't come up as a minister in this administration of Bola Tinubu. After this expose, I will tell you the reason why his name did not come up. Because he was supposed to be appointed, but his name never showed up. Now, I have a different sort of expose on him, still in his ministry, so you'll understand what drastic things he did in his ministry, or what heinous activities he perpetrated in that Ministry of Communication. Now, information reaching us says Isa Pantami looted the Nile Post because it is under his ministry. It was alleged that he looted the Nile Post of millions of property or assets worth millions of naira. One of it was brought to our notice by our source. Now, he was said to have sold off Nile Post assets valued at 500 million naira to his cronies and allies for just 50 million naira. Just look at how he has degraded our properties, our federal assets. Listen, he allegedly, when he went further to allegedly sack the former Postmaster General, Mr. Adebayo Ismail Adewusi. Why? Because Mr. Adewusi, in September 2022, disagreed with what Isa Pantami was doing in Nile Post. What was Isa Pantami doing? Isa Pantami was selling off all the assets that Nile Post had, and this Postmaster General, Mr. Adewusi, was against it. So in order not to allow any prying eyes into his activities, the minister sacked Mr. Adewusi. Now, this is the reason why Isa Pantami's name did not surface. Aside lots of allegations about him, within the next 2-3 days, I will be bringing you exposés on Isa Pantami, so that you would understand what sort of man was allowed to handle the Ministry of Communication in Buhari's government. So stay tuned with us for the next few days. All right, now the truth remains that the reason why he was not appointed minister was because, still on the sacking of this Postmaster General, Mr. Adewusi, several calls were put across to Isa Pantami in order to, help Mr. Adewusi save his job. One of these calls that was put through to Isa Pantami was the call of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, according to sources, even before he became president. But Isa Pantami never cared to pick these calls, and thus the reason why Mr. Adewusi was never returned to office. So when Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to office, he decided to deal with him and not or neglect him as regards a ministerial post. We will continue to expose these people because their activities are just on our palms. We wouldn't keep quiet because they are in the high places. We wouldn't keep quiet because they have the money and the power. We will talk because we need a change. We will talk because we need a new Nigeria. We will talk because if it doesn't affect us directly, if it affects our siblings and relations, friends and well-wishers directly. So we must have to talk in order for the emergence of a new Nigeria to be realized. All right. So I would leave that information there so that we would dig more in the next days, so that we would have lots of information to share to the general public. Now, I have another thing that has to talk of something in governance. All right, I have been talking about local government areas and how they've been neglected over time. Now I have Mr. Jibril Sabo Kiana. Mr. Jibril Sabo is was the first national publicity secretary of Algon. Now he exposed something that lots of people don't know: what goes on between governors and local government chairmen. Lots of these local government chairmen are not regarded. Lots of them are just clerical staff. Lots of them are just medium or media that the governors use to launder money, because they know that prying eyes from the federal government will not go down to the grassroots to check or to make or to do lots of scrutiny. So they will use the local government areas to launder lots of millions of naira. So I have a particular interview that will explain the heinous activities that goes on between local government chairmen and governors. Hence the reason why we think if the federal government should treat governors the way they treat local government chairmen, I don't think lots of governors would love to be governors anytime soon. So I would urge governors, so that we wouldn't have to talk much after the video, I would urge governors to please look at local government chairmen as very, very crucial to your style of governance. See them as your eyes in the grassroots. That is how it should be. Help them and bring them up, as well as their own communities or local governments, because you are also growing your state by doing that. Please watch this video. More details after the break.
You just hit the nail on the head by bringing up the dramatic event that took place in Ogun State Government House. It is just like the culmination of what we have been saying in the back, without evidence, as to what is happening between the state governments or state governors and the local government chairman, so to say. All along, for the past 25 years, we've been repeating this, that behind the doors, what goes on between the local government chairman, so-called, I must use those words now since we left office, and the governors, it's so pathetic that you will wonder whether it is the same country that we're running. And if the president relates with the governors in the same manner they do with the local government chairman, how they will be feeling. Thank God, because of our prayers and our persistence, an opportunity has presented itself for this country to see for themselves that elected local government chairmen, who by right are supposed to be at their duty post, were all gathered in the government house, genuflecting, begging governor not to dismiss them with a wave of hand from their offices, just because he is misinterpreting the content of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to suit his needs for maximum of 8 years, and then leaves the country and his people and his state continuously uninvolved in the activities of governing the state. And that has been the loss of the country for the past 25 years.
Okay, yeah, you've watched that interview there. I wouldn't want to say much on the local government chairman relationship to the governors, but the truth remains that the governors should learn to treat their local government chairmen and their local government councils right. Now, finally, a young man in a particular question and answer session about insecurity involving the security sector in Nigeria under the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a question and answer session had a young man turn the brains of the national security advisors and their workers and the Nigerian police force, especially the representative of the IG, the Inspector General of Police, while they availed themselves to answer questions that were thrown from the general public in this particular session. Now, this young man's question was an expose that shocked everybody in that gathering. What did he say? He rose an alarm of alleged involvement of SWAT officers in high level of violation of human rights in a community in Bayelsa State. He also raised concerns of how the National Security Advisory Council and the security sector, talking about the Nigerian police and the SWAT office, have neglected lots of petitions and lots of reports from that same community, reporting lots of heinous activities, wanton killings, kidnaps, and things that are not really, lots of social vices. After these people had reported countless times, there was little or no response to the community. So he quizzed the NSA, and their response shocked me. Well, it's so glaring, and I feel so happy that there are people back in Nigeria that really have the courage to speak out, even in public. Stay tuned.
Court bar. My question goes to the IG representative and the NSA. Sir, in Bayelsa State, precisely a community known as Opunebe is very viral on social media. And sir, there are a series of reports with respect to SWAT. Reports against SWAT members in respect of aiding community members to invade a community which is known as Opunebe. And the state government in its last executive meeting has also prayed to the federal government to withdraw the SWAT. There were pockets of abuse of human rights in that community. Then secondly, sir, to the NSA. Sir, you said about quick response to security complaints. Sir, in respect of that community, the community was invaded on the 5th day of February by some members. And that community wrote a petition to the Inspector General of Police on the 17th of February 2023. There was no response. A follow-up of a petition dated February, there was no response. The petition on March outlined the culprits. Then a later petition was written by this same culprit, and the SWAT immediately responded to that petition. The invade on the 15th, 3 able youths were killed. There were exhibits sent to Elele. The police restrained their officers to get those exhibits, and also an autopsy result was also conducted. Up till date, that the police has not yet released that autopsy result. Sir, what do you have to say to the issue of Opunebe in Bayelsa State? Thank you, sir.
All right, I admire the man's courage there. I wonder, because the answer he got was very, very bleak. Yes, Nigerian office holders, public office holders, or politicians, or Nigerian public office holders in general, will always play hide and seek with Nigerians, depending on when we have a new Nigeria. Please, everybody's dignity and competence will be put in check, because we are trying to reshuffle the country and bring back a new face. Thank you so much. Please like our videos, share them. Don't forget to watch till the end. And please, if you are watching me for the first time, tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that we'll get to link up anytime I'm on air. See you next time. Bye.